Hey guys, just a quick shout out before we get into this, because it's all about trading psychology, it's about risk management, about all this stuff, and you can see it here on the screen. How good? Remember to subscribe, please. Comment if you have a question, join the free Discord, links in the description, listen to my podcast, all that good stuff. Okay, let's get into it now. Bye. Hey guys, so if you've ever wondered how you should properly manage a trade, I'm going to be going over it here. This is going to stop you from falling into traps like FOMO and revenge trading. Remember, 90% of people do not make it in the markets. You don't want to be part of that 90%. The results are not on your side. So take it from a trader who's been in here for 10 years, and I'm going to talk about this trade that I'm in right now that's not doing too flash hot. And I'm going to go through some of the psychology behind it and what you need to be doing. Now, number one, you've got to figure out what sort of fear that you have. If you are a trader that's continually looking at the charts, I obviously want you to stop doing that straight away. There's no need to be monitoring it moment after moment, hour after hour. Because the simple truth is, and if I just get rid of what's on here, the simple truth is the market will move if you are there or not. You looking at that trade has literally zero effect on whether that trade is going to be successful or not. Right? But I understand. There's fear, there's emotions around it. So let's get into that psychology so you actually understand it. Because if you don't understand something, how can you ever learn to overcome it, right? As a child, why are you afraid of the dark? It's because something might be in it. And as you grow up, you realize, oh, that's why I'm afraid. I can rationalize it. I know that there's nothing there. It's just a fear that's not based in reality, right? Now, I know some of us still can be afraid of spiders or sharks or the dark, but you understand what I'm talking about through there. So why is, I spelled that so wrong. So why is there this fear? And I'll just get rid of that, right? So why is there this fear? What is it? Because fear is pain. That's what we have here. Fear is your response to avoid pain. Fear is pain, to avoid it, right? That is what your brain is trying to do. That is its goal. And this trade here is painful. Yes, it's in profit, but it came all the way down here and now it's coming straight back up to entry and we could be losing. For example, I had a student that was saying, oh, well, it's forming a lower or a higher low, Alex. That's not bearish anymore. Should I be exiting? Now, with our rules, we're not going to. We're not going to exit, and the reason why we're not going to exit is because it's not part of our rules. So again, in order to overcome this fear, one really great way is to write out your damn rules. Please, for the love of God, have them there. And I would say to that student, he's probably going to be watching this, why didn't you refer to them? Because rules can help us, rules can save us, rules can make us feel safe. We know in our heads, because of our back testing, because of what we've done, and if you haven't, well, I'm sorry, you're up. You're up. Not a very good creek without a paddle. But for me, or any other self-respecting trader, if you've back tested and you know, well, if I follow these rules, this is what should happen over the course of the year. I can make 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, whatever it is, following them. So your brain can look at these rules and go, I know this is freaking me out, but I've got the data to force into my head to say, no, I've back tested this. I know if I follow them, I'm going to be okay. So you can start to get that logic running. You can start to get that logic engine running. Now, is it enough to avoid the fear? No, it's not. So let's understand it. I've said this so many times in my podcast. You're probably all going to sigh at me. But if you're a child and you touch an oven or a stove or anything hot, touch it, your hand comes off it, right? That's what you do. Now, you don't do it again because you know that thing is hot. Now, when you lose a trade, it's painful because you've lost $100. And think about it this way. If you just lost $100 on the street of physical cash, are you going to be okay about it? You're going to be upset by it? Of course you're going to be upset. It's $100. So why wouldn't your brain feel upset by this? Now, I know what you're saying, Alex. Well, it's a different thing, and it's just numbers, and I'm not going to feel that way. Losing $100 is actually like crazy. It's like my money. I'm with prop firms, blah, 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 blah. Do you think your brain makes the distinction between losing $100 on the street and losing $100 in a prop firm? No. It's the same pathway it takes to say, I've just lost money. It's going to take the same highway. Do you think it's taking a different highway to say, I've lost money, but it's a different path and it's this and that? No, you have to build that into your brain if you've never done it before, right? You have to build a different pathway. So every time it starts to shoot down there, it goes, oh, Alex, you've lost money. It's coming back. You know, you might lose it again, blah, 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 blah. You have to go, hang on. I'll look at my rules. I understand that by following them, I should get this amount. I understand why I'm afraid. I am understanding why I'm feeling uncomfortable. It is because this is a painful thing. But I'm an adult. When I was a child and I was afraid of the dark, I felt the same thing. But I'm an adult now and I can reason it. And that is what you do. You add your final reason, which is just logic. If you've never tried this, it's going to be hard, but this is what you need to do. You need to overcome your fear by hitting it with logic again and again and again over months and months and months. You're not going to be an expert straight away, but promise you, if you keep doing that, the highway will be built. And you'll look at this and you'll go, oh yeah, this is uncomfortable. I could go out, but again, for the 100th time, I know that my rules are here because I've got the data to have a look at it. I understand that if I stay here and if I do this, I will come out with 30, 40, 50% at the end of the year. And if you're still afraid, backtest it again, backtest it again, backtest it again. And eventually you'll become so sick of backtesting and proving it to yourself that you know your strategy works, right? That you'll start to get annoyed at yourself. Because here's another really good path, if I move my face, to avoid this. And it's disgust. Now this is from the Best Loser Wins. If you haven't read it, please, by Tom Hoggard, I don't know how to say his last name, but Best Loser Wins, a trader. He says, and I didn't agree with this at first, so maybe some of you won't either, but it's fantastic now. You mismanaged this trade. Your rules are like this. I'm not supposed to exit. Comes here, it falls down. It's a winning trade. You exited. So many times I've had this. I can tell you so many different examples. I had two people that I was teaching at the exact same time. And they would come to the lessons and we hopped into a very similar trade like this. Came all the way down. Came all the way up to here. And then it shot back down and we won the trade. But I won the trade and they didn't. Because they didn't stick to the rules. They looked at it, and when it came so close and it came up, no, I'm hopping out, oh, I'm too scared. Fear of losing, of pain. They didn't use their rules, they didn't look at what the rules were, and they didn't use their logic engines. They just gave in to this. Now, we're adults, we have logic engines, we've got a brain. We can go X, Y, and Z. Right? That is what we can do. So, when this happens, genuinely ask myself, am I happy where I am? For most of you, that will be break even or loser. You've been losing, you're a loser, right? That's fine. We're allowed to say it. I'm a loser multiple times a week, sometimes months in a row. And that's not just talking about trading. That is an awful joke, but there it goes. So, am I happy where I am? Or am I break even or am I a loser? And if you are, genuinely take a look at the things that you've been doing, review your trades because you should have a journal, right? And go, look at all the times you made a mistake. And then compare that to a perfect execution over 1 to 2 months, right? You could do more. The better, the more months that you have, the better it is. So you would look in this case, okay, perfect execution, I'd be up 8% in 3 months. I'm at, let's say a best case scenario, 2 to 3% in 3 months. So you're 5% away from where you should be. But what does this do in terms of drawdown as well? Right? Because we have to think about that. Oh, well, I'm still in profit. You are right now. But how was your drawdown during that time? Because we're not even looking at that. Maybe we're 8% up, but we took at this is the end of 3 months, the first month and a half we were losing. Actually, if that happened, and you didn't get these winners in there, you could have blown your account. Pretty simple, right? If you were starting to take on those losers and it was the last month and a half that built you up, and you were taking on those losers and you didn't execute this properly, you didn't take on the winners, you might have blown your account. It's not actually in fact that you're 2 to 3% up. You could have blown it. We're just saying in this case, we are 2 to 3% up. But that is a very realistic scenario. And how many times has that happened to you guys sitting here? So you need to look at it. And you need to be disgusted in yourself. Let it flow through. Because it is such a driving factor. Let me put it this way. And I'm going to do this, and it's going to be super egotistical, but it's in the essence of helping you. Right now, I'm in Bali. Outside those doors is a private villa. I've got a pool. I've got maids that come in and clean it. That might not be your idea of fun, but I'm going to go off right now. I've just made a couple of $100 today. I'm going to go off and I'm going to motorcycle around, have a few drinks, have a really good time, take the rest of the day off. That is my life right now. That is what I'm doing. Are you doing that? Are you satisfied? What do I have that you don't have? I'm absolutely terrible at maths. I'm terrible at maths. I was never really good at school. I was always a bit of a dickhead, to be honest. Class clown kind of deal. There's nothing special about me whatsoever. There's probably something special about you. So how come I'm here and I've been doing it for 10 years and I get to do whatever I want whenever I want to do it? You should be disgusted that you're not here. Because if you're following your rules and you've actually got a strategy that lets you make 10, 20, 30, 40% per year and you're not doing it, and month after month after month you can't even manage a trade, guys, what are we talking about? Children can follow rules. Babies, maybe babies can't, but children can. If I say a child, don't do that, and yes, you could say, well, children don't always do what you say. And this is archaic, but we've all probably been there. If I did something wrong, my dad would smack me on the back of the head, and I probably wouldn't do that again. Because I now had a greater fear of what would happen should I do something wrong. So what does disgust do? And this is the crazy awesome part about it, guys. This is the crazy awesome part about it. Your fear becomes disgust. You can make your fear work for you in this case by looking at it and saying, my fear is being here every day. My wife, my husband, my kids, my family, my friends. I'm always talking about trading and I'm doing all this stuff and blah, 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 and I cannot do it. I'm in the same place every month, every week. And if that disgust is high enough and you truly look at it there, this is not to self-flagellate. This is not to say you're an awful person. This is not to say you were a loser. You are not. But what it is to say is, I am not living up to my potential in any way, shape or form. How awful is that? And I can do it because Alex does it. There's other people out there that do it. I mean, I can't remember. Just go on YouTube and there's it's like a show in America, and I don't know, he's got a bald head, and you know, people call about their finances and he tells them like what they should be doing. It's a really big show, but that's the sort of thing, and you know, you have to be verified to go on it, blah blah. There's like a 21-year-old guy on the other day, and he was making like $18,000 a week, or $15,000, or $5,000, whatever it was, right? Let's just say it's $5,000 a week for the past like 5 months. Just a kid, just doing it. Can you do it? Yeah, hell yeah, you can. Look at my strategy. It's been working for the last 6 years. And I keep on making money, and it takes people years and years to get it. Why? It's all psychology. Get this here, be true to yourself, and go, oh, this sucks. This really sucks. And your brain will latch onto it. Just like it naturally catalogs pain when you touch that hot plate. You only had to do it once. You only had to do it once, and your brain went, damn, that sucks. That was really painful. If your brain catalogs this and you really get into it, you go, yeah, that sucks. Fear equals pain to avoid it. Your disgust, it wants you to avoid it. Oh, I'm not going to do this again. Like, this trade did come down here. I want to hop out, but I'm not going to do that. I've got my logic. Every time I do this, I just be a loser. Who cares? You then detach yourself emotionally from it. You're now no longer focused on the outcome. You're focused on the process. Because you know the process can get you there, and by not following the process, the disgust of you not doing that, it's led to you losing. And now, because your fear is not following the process, looking at yourself and going, I could do it, but I'm not because I do this and I do this and I do this. Now you're angry or you're upset or whatever it is. You have that disgust about you. You could say gross. You don't have to say disgust. You could say upset. And you look at this and go, I'm not going to do that because I know that where it's going to lead me. And your brain will not have the same power. And when you put your logic engine and you write out your damn rules, you use that logic, you have it there and you go, Alex, don't worry if it doesn't do this. This is your exit thing. If you don't follow the rules, this is what's going to happen. Write that down. Massively behind your laptop. I want a bloody A3 piece of paper and I want this. If I don't follow the rules, I am a loser. Because you are. Not in the sense that you are an actual loser, but you're losing money. You're a loser. You making money? No. If you don't follow the rules, right? It's just like baking bread. I do this exact same thing every single time. If you don't follow the recipe, are you going to get the outcome that you want? No. Who looks at a recipe for like butter chicken and just goes, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. I'm just going to stop halfway through because this is like freaking me out. I'm looking at it. It doesn't look right, but the recipe tells me to do it, so I'm just going to do it. How many of you have ever done that in your life and you just push through? Do you think, oh, well, I'm going to do something completely different right now because the recipe makes no sense and blah, blah, blah. Who does that? If you do that, okay, you're going to struggle. But if I don't follow the rules, I'm a loser. Replace that line with whatever you want, but I find the more viscerally disgusting or unhappy it is, there you go. And you can just put next to it something positive. If I follow, I am a winner. I am a provider. I am a trader. Doesn't all have to be bad. You can do some good things in there as well. So that's it, guys, in terms of psychology and the trade management of what we have here. Follow your rules, right? That's what we're doing. This is how I'm doing my trade management right now. I've entered, I've got my stop loss, I've got my take profit. My rules are I only exit if it starts ranging consolidating. All these things are going to affect my trade management. This is what I do to make sure I stick to the trade. And that's it. Now my trade is set. I'm good. So, if you got any questions, hit me up. If not, awesome. Join my Discord, listen to my podcast, blah, 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 blah. I send signals out for free. You can always work with me. You can go to road4x.com, work with me there. I do payment plans. It's really whatever you want. If you want to pay $200 a week, then you can pay $200 a week. If you want to pay $400 a week, you pay $400 a week. We're going for that. So yeah, guys, have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye.